All right, folks, it's that time again, and you're welcome. And we're glad that you took a moment to join us today for Student of the Gun Radio. I am still your host, Professor Paul Markle. They haven't taken us off the air yet. Jared is on the other side of the glass there. He's putting my clock up on the wall so I can see how long I've been talking there. And we are in the official glass case of Emotion Studios. You know, something I didn't talk about yet, but we did this weekend, or I did. Took Jared to a show. That's one of the cool things about living down here on the glorious Gulf Coast of Mississippi and the Biloxi.
Zach, I didn't go with you.
Yeah, Zach, my other son. Oh,
he gets the names mixed up sometimes.
Did I say you?
Yeah, you said Jared. I thought I heard the word Jared coming out of your mouth.
I don't know. You're over there fiddling with buttons.
Yeah.
I might be right and you might be wrong, but we'll disagree to disagree. We've seen some fantastic concerts down here. We've got the Beau Rivage, we've got the Hard Rock Hotel, we've got the IP Resort and Casino. And between the three of those, we've seen tremendous amount of live shows. We've seen ZZ Top. You're like, ZZ Top? Yeah, we saw ZZ Top. We've seen Ted Nugent. We've seen the Stone Temple Pilots twice. We've seen Soul Asylum, Collective Soul. Just the names are almost endless. I've seen actually shows that I never thought that I would get an opportunity to see again, like Blue Oyster Cult and Foghat and the Romantics. Flock of Seagulls. Yeah, you guys out there. I saw the Flock of Seagulls and the Romantics in a dual show. But this weekend, I took Zachary and we went and saw Aaron Lewis at the Hard Rock. Not Stained, but Aaron Lewis and his own band. And a lot of you guys who are Aaron Lewis fans know that he writes his own music, and in addition to the Stained material, he also does a lot of country music as well. But it's not your typical pop culture, this pop country stuff that's on the radio today. He's kind of true to the old roots. It was a good show. It was really interesting. Hey, Jared, nobody got up on stage with him.
Yeah, I bet they were really patrolling that time.
I teased Dixon. I was like, you guys gonna let anybody crawl up on stage with Aaron this time? He's like, no, no. We got people posted on the left and right, and yeah. And the reason I mentioned that is, did we talk about it? We must have talked about it last year. Yeah, somebody crawling up on stage with him. But no, nobody crawled up on stage with him this year. And you remember last year, Jared, how he was just Aaron and his acoustic guitar and a backup guy on a slide guitar, and that was it?
Yeah.
Well, this time he brought a whole band. He brought,
really?
He brought himself, and he had four other guys, the same slide guitar player.
He's like, oh, you guys want me back? Well, you're going to bring my whole band.
Yeah, I was teasing Dixon. I said, apparently, because he was mad. He was legitimately PO'd.
Yeah. And
I thought, that's probably the last time he's going to come here. But apparently, the Hard Rock has a big enough checkbook that they can bring him back. Anyway, it was a good show. We had a good time, and that's kind of one of the neat things about Mississippi or the Mississippi Gulf Coast. My family up north, when I moved to Mississippi, I might as well have told them I was moving to like Mars or the moon or something. They're like, what? Why would you go there? That's all that's there is like snakes and moonshiners and inbred people without shoes on, and that's it, right? Well, that might be up in the Delta area, but down here on the coast, it's not like that. Anyway, that's just a little personal side note. I thought I would share that with you, and you're welcome. You're welcome. So it is Wednesday, and of course, being Wednesday, that means it's time for our SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk. We do that every Wednesday, brought to us. It's brought to us, and it's also brought to you by SWAT Fuel, engineered for precision. No, that's not it. It's SWAT Fuel up, fuel for your body. What am I supposed to say?
Feel full. No.
Anyway, now Jared's got a new update theme. He's got a fitness talk update theme, and he's dancing around in his chair over there on the other side. But before we let him spin the hits, I want to remind you guys, if you do go to SWATfuel.com, and you should, check them out, check out the store, and you decide to make a purchase, make sure that you're using the promo code, because I want you to save money. I want you to get fit, and I want you to save money while you're getting fit. So use the promo code SOTG2014, and you're going to save 20% off your order. All right, Jared, are you ready to bump yourself in there?
I am ready to bump myself in.
Bump it.
Physically fit, physically fit, physically fit, woman, physically fit, physically fit, woman, nice, quick, fantastic, big body ocean at the big Titanic, woman, and nice, sweet, energetic, big body.
All right, this week's SWAT Fuel Fitness Talk is going to be about at-home exercises. I've had a lot of questions about what can you do at home or, on the go. And there's a bunch of things you can do. One of them, push-ups, obviously. There's 3 different types of push-ups that I recommend. You do the triangle push-ups, which is where you connect your fingers in a triangle on the ground, and then you push up. You put your nose in the triangle, and then you push back up. The regular shoulder width push-ups, and then wide push-ups as well. And that gets pretty much your entire chest and your triceps. Sit-ups, that's a given. You could do alternating the elbows to knees or just a regular sit-up. Leg raises, obviously, that gets to the lower part of your abs. So I'm trying to give you exercises here that you can do just with your body that cover pretty much all the core muscle groups. Leg raises, I said that. Leg lifts, if you know how to do those, you just lift your legs off the ground. You lay on your back flat, lift your legs off the ground about 6 inches or so, and hold them. And then you can also do flutter kicks, which is that exact same thing, except for you kick. It's like you're running, but you're laying down.
Like you're swimming on your back.
You're swimming on your back. And the ab wheel, that is a love-hate relationship. Trust me. But get an ab wheel and use it. It works. It sucks, but it works. It's the fastest way to tone your abs, I believe. And it really does. It's not just for toning your abs. It gives you core strength as well. If you guys know, like, 6-pack abs are just aesthetic. They have no practical use. It's just for looks. You can have the ab muscles there without actually having a 6-pack. So get an ab wheel. Kettlebells, obviously, I went through a routine. What, last week was it, or?
I think so.
Well, anyway, it's in like one of the past 2 episodes of Student of the Gun Radio. Past 2 Wednesdays.
Wednesdays,
Yeah,
that's
Wednesdays. Right. Hindu squats, and those are we got those from John Saylor, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, those you do. It's just like a squat, except for pretend you're on a beach and you're scooping sand. When you go down, you squat, you scoop sand, and when you stand back up,
you throw it in the air.
You throw it in the air or onto your chest. Lunges are important as well. Lunges help you with your running. Lunges tone your legs. Lunges make just your legs stronger. So that's my advice for at-home exercises, and a lot of you actually asked about that, so hopefully you're listening right now.
Well, are you going to do we're going to do fitness talk for the TV show, and are some of those things going to be in there?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, on the TV show, I'm actually going to go through routines on TV, on the video.
Okay, cool. Now, before we move on, here's what we need to do. We need to let everybody know who's not hip where that music came from.
Oh, they don't know?
Some people may
everybody
not
should know that.
Well, yeah, everybody should know, but I'm guessing not everybody does know. Don't assume.
Oh, you know what they say about assuming.
That's right, you and me.
Yep. The music came from Madagascar, and I like to move it, and Dad likes to move it, and we all like to be physically fit. So.
And that was original. That was King Julian singing the "I like to move it, move it."
King Julian.
And yeah, just duck it, and then listen to it, and then the whole rest of the day, you're going to be saying, "I like to move it, move it."
Yeah,
you're probably doing that right now. And
just
so
search
you're
"I like to move it," and it'll come up on YouTube, I believe.
Yes, you're welcome.
I guess people that don't have kids or something.
Yeah, if
maybe,
they don't have little kids, they might not be aware of it. But do yourself a favor, treat yourself. Watch the movie Madagascar, not 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 or whatever they're on now, but the original movie Madagascar, and just fast forward to the King Julian part. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Speaking of the fitness talk on Student of the Gun TV. When you guys watch Student of the Gun TV this season, I need you to come in your workout clothes because you're just going to go ahead and do the routine with me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be on demand, so they can do it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to be like Jack LaLanne for gun people.
Yeah, there you go.
If Jack LaLanne might have been a gun person. He was a fitness instructor back before Hollywood people had to be ashamed of owning guns.
Except I'm going to be less focused on the fake smile and more focused on the actual exercise.
Hey, don't mess with Jack LaLanne.
I'm not
man.
talking about Jack.
He'll come
I'm
back
just
from the grave and smack you in the face.
Fitness videos in general.
You're going to grow a great big ponytail and
Yeah.
you know that guy, the ponytail Abilizer guy or whatever it is. Yeah. Now, do you know how to do a Navy SEAL perfect push-up?
Oh yeah, we actually have some perfect push-ups.
I saw that. Who brought those in?
Dixon
brought them in. The perfect push-up thing. Oos.
Speaking, you want to announce the new cider that we're going to make?
The Dixon cider.
Yeah.
That's the new adult beverage from John Dixon.
Yep, Dixon cider.
Yeah. All right. Moving on now. Don't push it. Don't push it. You like to move it. Don't push it. All right. The following segment of Student of the Gun is brought to you by Velocity Triggers. They are designed for precision. If you have a black rifle and you're looking to upgrade the trigger at your own workbench or your own kitchen table, you can do it with products from Velocity Triggers. Check them out at velocitytriggers.com. Don't forget about XS Sights, the fastest sights in any light. If all you're going to do is stand at the range, flat-footed, and shoot at a piece of paper 5 yards away, you don't need XS Sights. You don't. You can use whatever happened to be on the gun. But if you're planning to fight with a gun, if you're going to use that gun potentially to save your life or the life of someone else, you know what? It might be dark. The lighting might be poor. You might be laying on your back. You might be moving. You're probably going to be moving. That is when you need XS Sights. That's when they come into play.
We had a question about XS Sights, if it was worth the tritium in the rear sight.
Whatever. Not really.
Yeah.
There's several schools of thought on that, but here's the deal. People get so bunged up over the configuration of the rear sight that they forget that the front one is the most important. What I tell people is the reason they're like, well, that shallow V it's not, it doesn't work. It's weird. It's strange. It's like, no, you're supposed to, with a handgun, you're supposed to look through the rear sight and it's supposed to be fuzzy in your vision. You're not supposed to be focusing on the rear sight because you know that human eye, that dastardly human eye that you have there, the human eye can only focus on one plane at a time. And when you're using a handgun, there's 3 planes. There's the rear sight plane, which is close. There's the front sight plane, which is medium. And then, of course, there's the target, which is far. But you can only focus on one object at a time. And the focus of your eyeball should be on your front sight. So quit worrying about what they've got these crazy rear sights out there with all these different, widgets and gadgets and things that they want you to look at. And everybody forgets that you're not supposed to be looking at the rear sight. You're supposed to be looking through the rear sight. So,
March 17th is almost here.
It is almost here. That's going to be our 2-year anniversary date.
Oh, is it really?
Isn't it not? Why are you saying March 17th?
Well, because that's when Battlefield Hardline comes out.
Oh, okay.
And XS is going to be in there.
Is that also St. Patrick's Day?
Maybe. I don't know.
You're freaking me out, man. All right. So enough XS Sights. Check those guys out at xssights.com. And Brownells, lastly, Brownells, if you own a gun, Brownells has something for you in their catalog. Even if you don't own a gun, they have emergency and survival gear. But you probably own a gun because you're listening to me right now. So check those guys out, brownells.com. Browse around, get what you need. Now, I got a show note here, Jared, that says you want to remind people about the articles that you sent out to them in their email here last weekend.
Oh, yeah. I sent out the Who the Hell is Hunter S. Thompson? And I also sent out the PFT Majority Has Rights.
Okay. If you guys
I would say if you guys didn't catch those articles, you're probably not subscribed or you're not an active subscriber to studentofthegun.com, and it's a shame on you. But you can fix yourself.
Easy. It's easy to fix yourself.
Yeah, you go to studentofthegun.com and you click on the little button there that says instant access or whatever it says. I don't even remember now. But it's yellow. Click it, and then you enter your name and your email address, and we will send you updates. We will send you discounts. We will send you a a bunch of stuff. There's so much stuff I can't even name it all right now.
But it's all good stuff.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And we don't spam you. We don't sell your information. I just want to let you guys know that. But anyway.
If Jared sends you something, it's for a reason.
Yes, it is for a reason. And it's either from me or it's from Dad.
Every time I say for a reason, I think about your sister.
Yeah.
When my baby girl, who's not a baby girl anymore, but when she was a baby girl, when she was like in that age between 2 or 3, and she would get, if we would like take something away from her or turn off the TV or whatever, she'd look up and she had little blondie hair and she'd stomp her foot and she'd say, "Hey, I was doing that for a reason." And that was her thing. She'd say, I was looking at that for a reason. So we're like, okay, little blonde haired girl, I know you're doing it for a reason. And every time I see her for a reason now, I think of that. That's just a little dad moment for you guys. If you don't like it, too bad. This episode of Student of the Gun is filled with college hijinks. All kinds of crazy nonsense going on college campi across the nation. And we've got 3 stories here that are all similar, and they all deal with college campi, or campuses, depending on where you live, and things that are going on gun-related. But we wanted to do a little bit of college music. And I was thinking, how can we bump this in? What kind of special theme can we do for college hijinks? And I think we came up with it right here.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my hands back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah.
All right, you guys should know who that was.
It was Otis Day.
Otis Day and the Knights.
Yeah, Otis Day and the Knights.
Otis Day and the Knights. Off of
remember.
the Animal House soundtrack. Now, you know that Otis Day and the Knights was just a band that they made up for the movie, right? It wasn't a real band. They just made up Otis Day and the Knights for the movie Animal House. You realize that, Jared?
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, okay. Just some people don't realize that. Well, thank you, Otis Day and the Knights from the movie Animal House. And what better movie to reference for college hijinks? Well, this first story comes to us from Breitbart.com. And it's Breitbart.com. And the story, we posted this, or we shared it with you guys on Facebook. And you really should be following us on Facebook. If you have a Facebook account, and if you have a Twitter account, you should be following us. Now, if you don't have either one of those, that's cool. You can just wait till I mention it on the radio. And, of course, all of these links are at studentofthegunradio.com in the show notes. So if you want to look them up, you want to share them with your friends, whatever you want to do with them, I don't care. You're an American. Do what you want. But this one here, Houston Chronicle, campus carry could hurt cancer research. And you're like, what now? I'm sorry, there was some stupid stuck in my ear right there. Let me shake my head and get the stupid out of it. Houston Chronicle, campus carry could hurt cancer research. And as I relate this story to you, I want you guys to be aware, or you probably are already aware of it because you're smart listeners. We have some of the most intelligent listeners in the radio listening audience. You know how the anti-gunners, essentially leftists, it doesn't matter if it's anti-gun, anti-whatever, when they want you to have less liberty and the state to have greater control, whatever the subject matter happens to be. In this case, it happens to be firearms. They can't just come out and tell you directly what they want. They can't be honest with you. They can never, ever be honest with you. They'll never come out and say, we're leftists. We want the government to have full and absolute control over your life. And we want you to be subservient, to be a good little tax slave and just shut your mouth, give us your money so we can redistribute it to those who don't work, and just be quiet. They can never say that. They can never tell you exactly what they want. They have to mask their desires. They have to hide their desires behind reasonable language or some kind of weird nonsense like this. Here we go. It says, on February 21st, the Houston Chronicle claimed the passage of campus carry in Texas could hurt education at colleges and universities, and quoted MD Anderson, or MD Anderson's, that apparently that is a school, Julie Penn, saying it could, quote, hurt cancer research as well. And you're saying to yourself, you're scratching your head, you're thinking, how in the name of all that is holy can allowing adults, and I love it when they refer to this whole college thing is upside down. College students, and they always say students, a student there. And so they generate this image of like a child, like a 17-year-old. But college students are not 17-year-olds, are they? Jared, if you go to college, what is your age?
You're an adult.
Oh, you're an adult.
You're at least
you're
18.
A legal adult. You can vote and get married and
But
pay
you can't
taxes.
drink, so.
Yeah, vote, married, pay taxes, join the military. But you're a student. And so apparently the new tactic, did you want to say something else before I go?
Well, I just have a question, but I'll let you read this first paragraph.
Okay,
or whatever
well, put a
first.
pin in that. It says, according to the Chronicle, legalizing carry of handguns on campus could, quote, could cost tens of millions of dollars, and that money could be, you like how they couch the sentences with could, like, well, we don't know that it will, or we don't have any facts to back this up, but it could. I mean, it could. Martians could land and
My
kidnap
question
me.
that I had was how in the Funkin' Wagnall could it cost tens of millions of dollars?
Oh,
Wouldn't it cost more money to have campus security?
No,
than it would to
listen up. And it says that this money could be siphoned away from education and research programs at Texas universities. Using data from a Texas higher education system, there's the Texas higher education systems. The Chronicle claims that many of the costs would be increasing university police departments in response to law-abiding citizens carrying guns for self-defense. More gun safes and lockers would have to be installed on campuses.
What?
And de-escalation and judgment training for staff and on-campus security would come at a high cost. All right, stop. This is so retarded. Just on the face of it. You guys in Texas do know that there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions. I don't know what the population of Texas is off the top of my head. I'm sure it's more than 1 million. It's many million. You do realize that in the Republic of Texas right now, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of citizens of Texas carrying guns, wearing guns every day. You understand that, right? And explain to me how an individual private citizen exercising a codified human right, the right to self-defense, to defend one's body from harm. Explain to me how an individual exercising a right is going to cost the state money. I don't get that. And then they say, let's break this down piece by piece here and dissect it. It says, so they're going to need to, if they allow law-abiding people. Hey, I hate to break your chi here or mess with your chi there, Houston Chronicle.
Did you say allow law-abiding people?
Yeah, allow. But it says bad guys, there are bad people in Texas, and especially there's a lot in Houston, that are already carrying guns. And guess what they're doing when they're doing that? They're already breaking the law. All this does, all this nonsense, this campus carry, blah, 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 all that does is affirm the right of the law-abiding to possess, people that actually are concerned about being within the law. The people that are not concerned with that, the actual criminals, the actual rapists, the actual thieves and robbers and drug dealers and so forth, they're already carrying guns. This does not affect them at all. So what they're trying to tell us and convince us is that if we allow law-abiding citizens, that if they reinforce their ability to carry guns, that is going to force the universities to hire more police. They're going to have to hire more police officers to deal with the law-abiding. Do you get that? That makes sense. And then it says, more gun safes and lockers would have to be installed on campuses. Why in the name, what in the wide, wide world of sports are you talking about? Jared, are you carrying a gun right now?
Yeah.
I'm carrying a gun. Actually, let me say 1, 2. I got 2 guns on me as I sit in the glass case of emotion. Jared, when you come into the studio here, is there a special locker for you to take your gun off and lock it up in?
Nope.
Why, if people are carrying guns for self-defense and the gun is attached to their body, do you need special gun safes and lockers? Well, for when they're not carrying them. Why would they not be carrying them? Well, when they don't have them on. You mean like when they're in their apartments or when they're in their houses and they're sleeping or whatever? Well, yeah, like that, or like those when they choose not to. Isn't it the responsibility of the individual gun owner to have a safe or locker or whatever to store their gun in? How is storing safe storage of a firearm the responsibility of the education system? That's just stupid. And this is the last stupidity I'm going to talk about before we move on. It says they would also have to, or it says, and, quote, de-escalation and, quote, judgment training for staff and on-campus security would come at a high cost. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and leave the staff part out of this, Jared. But it says on-campus security. So what you're telling us right now, Houston Chronicle morons, is that the current on-campus security does not have training, does not have de-escalation and judgment training. So your current on-campus security, your current campus police officers have not received de-escalation or judgment training. And the only reason they would need that training is because law-abiding citizens are now carrying guns for self-defense. How do you... Oh, apparently, Jared, all Texas campi, all of the schools in Texas are currently crime-free zones. And campus security has never had to deal with a thief, robber, felon, person with a weapon. That's never happened until we passed this law.
If you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have to go through judgment training to know how to deal with a law-abiding citizen carrying a gun, then maybe you shouldn't be a security officer.
Yeah, you
or
probably
a police
shouldn't be
officer.
there. You probably need to go do something else. But you need to train your staff regardless. You don't give them, we need to give you extra special training because you might not know how to deal with a law-abiding citizen who's in possession of a firearm. How do you deal with criminals that are in possession of firearms? I don't know.
Did you read the quote from the state senator?
Oh, I'm about to.
Okay. Yeah. Rodney Ellis, douchebag. D is for Democrat. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you D was for douchebag.
Yeah, I thought douchebag.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a quote from this guy. You know, we're probably not going to get to all the stories, but State Senator Rodney Ellis, you got to be so proud in Houston. Democrat says, we should be arming our children with a 21st century education, not arming them with handguns. As the high cost of education continues to grow, it doesn't make sense to push unfunded mandates onto the backs of students and their families. Rodney Ellis, you are a piece of human garbage. You guys know Rodney Ellis? Tell him he's a piece of human garbage. He's a pandering fool. Stop. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and dissect your retarded statement here because apparently no one in the media has the cojones to raise their hand when idiots say stuff like this and say, excuse me, Senator Ellis, you said in your statement, children, do you believe that people who attend high school, that students that attend, or I'm sorry, excuse me, college, that they are children? What is your definition of children? I mean, apparently by Rodney Ellis's definition here, any human being that is currently alive is a child. I mean, I'm a child. I have parents. Jared, you're a child. You have parents. So we're arming our children.
Who wrote that quote for him to read?
You see how they do this? They're like, they want you to imagine college students as these like little pimply-faced waifs, little Jimmy who just got into puberty, running around a college camp. They're adults. These same humans, if they had some serious cojones, could be in the military. So would you refer to a 20-year-old PFC or a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps as a child? Hey, you see that child over there? That child in the desert camouflage uniform who's missing half of his leg? He's walking around like the Bionic Man now. Well, yeah, he's only 20, but he's a child, right? No, it's not a child. And Jared, that's the trick, is they want them to be children when it's useful to refer to them as children. But when they want them to vote for them, then they're adults. When they want these 18, 19, 20-year-old skulls full of mush to go out and vote for them, well, then they're adults. They're responsible adults. They're intelligent enough to make a decision on their own. And it says, as the higher cost of education continues to grow, you know what? I'm going to tell you why. Do you want to know why it costs so much to send kids to school? Do you want to know why it costs so much to send people to a university? Well, yes, Paul, tell me. I'm going to tell you. Because no one pays for college with their own money. What? No. You know where they pay for college with their own money? Community colleges, local colleges. But all these big colleges and universities, you think that an 18-year-old pimply-faced puke that's going there is paying for it with his own money? No, he's not. You're like, well, he's paying for it with his parents' money. Is he really paying for it with his parents' money? Or did they get loans, student loans and grants and this and that? You're like, well, grants are a good thing. Yeah. What about these federally funded grant programs? Well, yeah, they have to pay that back. Oh, really? If you're 19 years old and someone says, well, we're going to give you $50,000 for college, Jimmy, but you're going to have to pay it back. You're 19. You have no concept of like a life outside of school. You're like, okay, I don't care. Big deal. The reason that college is so expensive is, A, you're paying hacks. You're paying these tenured hacks 6 figures a year to indoctrinate your children into socialist propaganda. You've got these same hacks that write books. I'll never forget this crap. My sister was going to college, and I was visiting her at campus, and she had to pick up books for her new class semester. And I'm like, I'll go with you. And this is like 15 years ago, maybe even more, Jared. But so I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. So I walk over. We're in the campus bookstore. She goes and she has the list of the mandated material that she has to buy for her classes. And she goes up to the counter, and she has 3 books. She had 3 textbooks and a notebook that was required for the class. And they rang it up. She gave them her Visa card. It was $278 for 3 textbooks and a notebook to accompany it. And they play this little trick on you where when you go to sell your books back, what they'll do is they'll add like an addendum, or they'll update it and they'll add 14 pages. And they're like, oh, that's the previous semester's book, and you can't use that in this class. Tell me, who has kids that are going to school or has gone to school? Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying that a hardback book should cost $58 that you're going to use for 6 months. And then you go to sell it back, and maybe they'll give you $10 at the campus bookstore. It's crap. And who writes these books that become mandated Oh, the professors write the books, and then they mandate those books to be used in the classes. So you have to spend, did you know that, Jared? That tenured professors will write books, and then they'll mandate that those books be used in the class, so the kids have to go out and spend $58 on that textbook? Brothers and sisters, don't give me a bunch of horse crap about how expensive education is.
Well, if you wrote a book, wouldn't you mandate the people?
That's what I should do. I should mandate that if you're going to listen to this class, you have to buy that book.
There you go. So there you go. Go
All
to
right.
studentofthegungear.com and buy that book.
Yeah, that's right. Or you can't listen anymore. All right. So what we've got is we have the narrative that's being set. Don't think that this was an accident. This whole narrative that we can't afford to allow people to carry guns, because that follows right into, I read that story, and then we have this story from Florida, and it's from WFTV.com, and it says UCF students rally against a bill that would allow concealed carry. And you're like, what? What? Oh, sweet Buddha on a rubber raft. Orlando, Florida. University of Central Florida students rallied on campus Friday in opposition to a bill that would allow concealed weapons on campus. The rally came near the second anniversary of a near disaster on the UCF campus. Yeah, the near disaster was they found out that some guy, James Sivakumaran. In March 2013, UCF police officers rushed into the dorm room of James Seevakumaran. Sounds like a fine Irish boy. James Sikuvaraman, after the student shot and killed himself. Good thing they rushed in. Sivakumaran had just pulled the fire alarm and was planning to go on a deadly shooting rampage as students fled the dorm. Okay, so what happened? Well, the police, did they charge in there into the room holding fire extinguishers?
Well, I have a question.
Did the campus security charge into this guy's room holding, and they filmed it, which is really weird. Were they holding flashlights? What were the police holding?
Well, but they weren't concealing them.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's true. But
they have a polyester uniform.
They had guns. Well, this rally, or first of all, there's so much in this rally that drives me crazy. But here's the deal. This Florida rally, which was organized by the Student Democrat organization, right? The Student Democrats, and they've got video of this thing. I counted a grand total of 9 students. So this rally, how do you call something a rally when you have a grand total of 9 useful idiots standing around holding signs?
It kind of sounds like something that we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
Oh, my Lord
But anyway,
in heaven.
So my question is, in March 2013, were guns allowed on campus?
I don't know. You mean somebody might have actually broke the law? And here's what really is annoying is Central Florida Police Chief Richard Berry, anyone armed with this type of ammunition could have hurt a lot of people. What? The police chief came out in support of this rally. So we've got a police chief that is supporting the peasants being disarmed because, again, the peasants can't be trusted with guns. Only people in blue polyester uniforms can be trusted with guns because they're trained.
Hold on. He said anyone armed with this type of ammunition could have hurt a lot of people here. So his police officers, they could have hurt a lot of people because I'm sure that they had hollow points in there. I don't even know what type of ammunition he's talking about, but I'm sure that they had that type of ammunition.
They're probably
better.
really scared because it was hollow point ammunition, and that's the scariest kind. You should be scared of that because it's this brand new super death killer bullets. Now this is where I say, see, I told you so. Okay. We had the first story from the Houston Chronicle, right, where they're all, the leftists and hippies are all at Twitter, and they're peeing in their collective panties in Texas because at the thought of adults who also happen to be enrolled in college lawfully carrying concealed weapons on their bodies for self-defense. So here we have the story from Florida, and they've got these organized by campus Democrats. Never forget that. Okay. In the story, it says Florida lawmakers have not said how much lifting the ban would cost. This is in the Florida ban, would cost universities. It says a Texas state estimate showed that its university system expects a $47 million cost to implement concealed carry.
I don't understand why.
It's a lie. Those figures are bogus. It's a lie.
How can they even get away with?
Because no one's going to call them on it. Because the media is in their pocket. They come up with they pull this horse crap out of their rectums to implement concealed carry. How do you need to implement concealed carry? All you say is, yeah, it's okay. Are they issuing people new permits and new training? Are they paying for people to take Texas concealed carry training classes? No. All they're saying is if you currently are an adult and are in possession of a Texas concealed carry permit, then you can cross the invisible line into the campus area. And you can walk around on the campus and then you can leave. That's it. How do you have to spend a dime to implement it? But I'm telling you what, folks, this is a 100% backroom deal organized program here. The D's, the Democrats, the Nanny Bloombergs, and the moms who demand more bedroom action, and all of their ilk, this is the new strategy. Because, well, they can't say that guns in the hands of good people don't stop. I mean, they don't stop bad people because there's no evidence there. And they can't say that you don't have a right to self-defense because you do. As an adult human citizen of the United States, you have a natural God-given right. They can't say that. They can't say that, well, since Texas passed concealed carry, since Florida passed concealed carry, there's been a spike in the number of robberies and rapes and felonious uses. Folks, when I was living in Florida in the 90s, they had issued something in upwards of 200,000 permits then. And out of the 200,000 permits they had issued, I think it was something like a grand total of 18 of 200,000 had been revoked for violating the provisions of the law, and only like 3 of them were actually somebody who had committed a violent crime. They're probably domestic violence. But folks, people that go out and spend the money, get the fingerprints, take the pictures, do the applications, those are not criminals. Those are not people who are predisposed. Those are like verifiable good guys, people that really, really, really want to follow the law. And so they know that they can't say, well, concealed carry people are dangerous because these are the facts. No, we don't have any facts to support that. Well, allowing citizens to have guns makes the world a more dangerous place. No, we can't support that. So, crap, what do we do? I don't know. Oh, I know. I got one. In their little secret meeting, they're like, what if we try and convince people that they can't afford it? That's what we can do. We'll come up with this mystical $47 million, and we'll convince the knuckleheads that don't look beyond the headline. And you know those people, the morons that read a headline are like, I read a headline, and it said this. Yeah, but what did the actual story say? I don't know. I don't read that far. It said that cancer research is not going to be funded because we're allowing people to carry guns. Well, I'd rather have cancer research. Wouldn't you? I mean, come on.
I have a question. What I would ask these people that are saying this stupidity is ask them, do you have a right to defend yourself? Okay. And then, or ask this other dude, do our children have the right to defend themselves? Because if he cares about the children, then... Well,
no. They can't be trusted to...
No, it's a yes or no question.
No,
See, that's the
they
thing.
can never answer a
Yeah,
yes or no
I know.
question. They have to answer a question with a question.
Yeah.
Or you ever listen to a politician talk?
Yeah, I hate it.
You know, Senator, do you support the Keystone Pipeline? And that's a yes or no question. Well, I think the issue at hand here is not whether or not I support it. It's whether it's like, shut up, you freaking moron. And nobody ever calls them on that. Sweet Buddha, it makes me want to get a press pass and go in there. How long would I last in a press conference?
Like 2 seconds.
As long as
If that.
as
As soon as you walked in,
machi-
they'd be like, "Sir, we
as a
need you to leave."
machine gunner in combat in Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, the clock on the wall says it's time for Paul to go. I know you're sad. I'm sad too, but don't be too sad because we'll be back tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Tomorrow is yet another day. I promise we'll be here. And we've got more academic psychobabble to talk about tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. Remember, you're a student for life.